There it is, the brand spanking new 2016 Honda Civic, and it is all new from the ground up. New engine, new transmission, new interior, new exterior, and you know what? Me and Jason are going to take it for a ride and give you the first drive scoop, and that is coming up right now. Sounds like a Honda.
It sounds like a Honda with a turbo, because that's what we're in. We're in a Honda with a turbo.
Hey guys, this is Roman, and over here next to me driving the brand new 2016 Honda Civic with the 1.5 liter turbo is Honda Pro Jason, who is admittedly a Honda fanboy.
Yes, by you mostly, but yes.
He knows. He's forgotten more about Hondas than I will ever know. So I thought he'd be the right man to close your window, would you?
Of course.
Have as a drive partner on this drive route here in Michigan. All right, Jason, so first impressions.
Okay, first impression, when I first press the start button, the car is kind of like a growl when it starts up. I mean, You can definitely tell it's different than a naturally aspirated car.
Now keep in mind, he's driving a SI that's supercharged.
I have a supercharged SI, so I think I'm a good person to know about boosted cars, because I have a boosted car.
Yes, and of course, the cool part about this engine is that it's not only turbocharged, but it puts out a considerable amount of horsepower. I think it was
174.
That's right, 174. And Honda will be quick to tell you that it gets 42 mpg on the highway. Or 35 combined.
Exactly.
So we're talking some pretty serious numbers here. And probably the biggest thing that people will notice, of course, immediately in this Honda is that it's much sportier than the outgoing model.
Outside and inside.
Yeah,
definitely this high center console I like a lot. My arm just fits right on it. Yeah, very comfortable.
They said they lowered the hip line, right, which is how far down in the car you sit, to give you that kind of, you know, sporty feel, so you don't feel like you're driving a bus, but you feel like you're driving a sports car. And the one thing that I'm not thrilled about, but you may be, is that they said they developed it for the Autobahn, basically the Nürburgring. They wanted to make it like a German sedan.
I think that was one of their test markets for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sick of car companies developing cars on the Nürburgring. Develop them for America, man. We've got potholes, we've got interstates that have 0 turns on them, so build me a car that's comfortable in America, but not necessarily so Autobahn inspired. Earth dreams? No, just regular dreams. This is the new engine, and this is big news for Honda. It's a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that puts out, I've got my cheat sheet here, 174 horsepower and 162 pound-foot of torque. And get this, it puts out 31 more horsepower than the outgoing model, and it gets 35 mpg combined. You can also get a 2-liter normally aspirated engine that puts out 158 horsepower and 138 pound-foot of torque. And that one also gets 35 mpg combined, but they're both usually paired with a CVT transmission. Now the 2-liter can come with an automatic 6-speed, but the upper trim levels of this car are all CVTs.
Well, let me ask you a question. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Okay, and how do you fit in this car?
I fit great.
Okay, good.
I fit like a glove, man. It's very comfortable, and I have to be honest, I really like this new style direction they went. I like the sporty nature of the car. I like the fact that it's exciting to look at.
Yeah.
Whether it's exciting to drive, you know, it's hard to tell after being in the car for a minute.
Yeah. Right. It's definitely quiet.
Yeah.
It's extremely quiet. The cabin is much quieter than the outgoing 9th gen for sure. And the acceleration is extremely responsive. The 9th generation, I have one, I love it, but the acceleration is a little bit of a hesitation. It doesn't really have that perfect feel. This you just tap it and it just goes. Very smooth.
Having said that, there is a little chink in the armor, and you know, I'm not a big fanboy of CVTs, and this car is paired with a CVT. And
with a torque converter, though.
With a torque converter.
So?
We had a long discussion last night with the engineer in Japanese, English, who is in charge of the powertrain, and I asked him, why did you put a CVT in the thing? And he said, because it's the best pairing of a transmission to the torque and power output of this 1.5 liter.
Exactly.
And you know, that's corporate speak for we want a great fuel economy.
Right. True.
If I'm being completely honest, right?
And you
Because they know
normally are.
fuel economy. They know that fuel economy sells.
Yes.
Now for all the cool stuff on the inside of the new 10th Gen Civic. This new dash layout is really incredible. They got rid of the two-tier look, but they're still using a digital speedometer and an analog looking almost S2000 tachometer, which I really enjoy. The steering wheel is beautiful. They have a couple of little spots here for 10 and 2, so it makes it nice and comfortable to drive. You still have the tilt wheel. Now they don't have a radio knob. And some people are a little upset still that we don't have a radio knob, but what they did to combat that is on the steering wheel, they give you a little wheel that is touch sensitive, and you can actually roll your fingers up and down to adjust the volume.
But, all right, so I'm not psyched about this EVT, but we know there's a Type R coming.
There is an SI and a Type R coming.
And hopefully those will at some point either have a manual transmission or a traditional automatic transmission.
They will have manuals. Both of them will be 6 speeds. Honda has never done a Type R or an SI and an automatic, and they're not going to start now.
Yeah.
They're going to be 6 speeds.
Yeah. And you know that you can get the 2-liter with the manual transmission in this vehicle, but that is, of course, the entry-level car. So it starts at about, what, 18,000, and if you go all the way up to the Touring, it goes to about 28,000.
Yep, that's what they were saying.
And that base model is a manual transmission. But if you want the hot hatch, you're going to have to wait.
A little while.
Yeah,
A little while. No, not too long.
As for storage, you guys are going to be amazed at all the cool storage. So they have a spot for everything. First of all, the center console, the armrest moves, the armrest lifts. There's a spot here that's removable for your key fob. There's 2 huge cup holders here. And yes, they fit Fiji bottles. These cup holders slide, but not only do they slide, they also get removed, which allows you a huge cavern inside there that you can put a laptop, an iPad, a lot of room inside there, along with another USB. This USB inside is only a 1 amp. The one up front behind this console here is a 1.5 for quick charging, along with a power outlet right here. And Honda thinks of everything. The cord that goes through the bottom actually has a hole and gets fished right through the center console. Shouldn't have wires hanging everywhere. They gave a lot more room in the center console by moving the emergency brake, parking brake right here, and adding a brake hold. So now you don't need the parking brake on the ground or need anything to lift up, which is also very convenient. A huge glove box.
I just gave them a lot of, you know what, for the fact that it was tuned on the Autobahn, but as I'm sitting in the passenger seat, it feels very comfortable. The ride seems very well dampened. You seem very comfortable.
The field of view is amazing.
Yes.
This windshield, I can see everything.
Yes.
It's really, really, really comfortable.
Now, of course, Honda says that they've brought a lot of technology down to the C segment,
Yes.
right? Which this is, compact car segment.
Right.
And actually, if we're being honest, Hyundai's brought a lot of technology to the C segment, and Honda's had to match them.
They've loaded their cars up with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. I think Honda's loaded their cars up with similar equipment, but I think it's better, just done better. It looks better. I think it feels better.
Ryan Miller.
And Ryan, what's your title?
I am the performance side project lead for the Civic.
The new Civic.
New Civic.
All right, and here
10
we are
generation Civic.
next to what looks like a very unusual Civic. It's got all kinds of parts missing, and it's got all kinds of funky colors. Tell me what this is.
So this is a cutaway of our body, and we do this because normally a lot of these components that are critical for a lot of the performance of the vehicle, including crash and body rigidity and those kind of things, you can't normally see. So we've cut it away, and we've highlighted all the different materials, so kind of showcasing a lot of the high-strength steels, a lot of the connections, a lot of the welding techniques.
What do the different colors mean?
So if you look up here,
Yeah.
these colors are actually based on Euro car body. So because it's a global model, we'll actually share this in Europe at Euro car body. And every manufacturer uses the same colors so that anybody can quickly identify which part is which
Your
level of
competitors.
steel. Yeah, including competitors.
So what does the different colors mean? Tell me about the kind of steel that you're using in the body.
So all the highlighted colors are all high-strength steels, but high-strength steels are qualified into 4 areas. So we have high-strength steel, which is 340 to 440 megapascals, and then it goes up from there to advanced high-strength steels, ultra, and then press hardened steel. These are hot stamped panels, all the way up to 1500 megapascals in strength, so 4 times stronger than the normal high strength steels.
Now, of course, you've got a little bit softer materials, the soft touch plastics.
yeah.
It's no longer, especially where you touch, right? So where my elbow is, it's soft touch. The shifter, don't worry, I won't shift it, is soft touch. The steering wheel, I love the fact steering wheel.
Yeah, steering wheel looks great. It feels great. There's a couple nubs here for your 10 and 2,
Yep.
which feels really, really good. A lot of controls here, but they're not too many controls, so you can easily tell what they are. Volume control is separate from the up and down and track control, so you can easily turn the volume up and down without even looking at it.
And there's no volume control on the radio, so if you're used to doing this,
Yeah, no more.
no more. You have to do it either on the steering wheel or a little touch kind of up and down. And I miss that, you know, I'm old school. I like having a round. There's some things you just don't mess with, and a round audio knob is one of them.
It would look kind of funny here, though. In this application, a round knob here, I think would look funny on this beautiful, clear 7-inch screen.
But it would work well.
It would work well, but I think it would look not aesthetically pleasing.
So let's talk about the models again. So there are basically 4 models, right, with the Touring being the top of the line.
LX,
Yep.
EX,
EXT.
EXT, EXT Leather, optional Navi,
Yep.
and then Touring with Navi.
So 5 models.
So 5 models.
Yeah, 5 models. That's a significant improvement. And
Let's get it on the highway, shall we?
Yeah, let's go on the highway.
That'll be cool.
Let's see how it does.
Okay, I'm 5'6", so I'm no monster by any means, but there is a lot of room back here. Ah, I love this. A couple cup holders, which is nice. In most of the higher end trim levels, they've gone to a 60-40 split. This is the Touring, so we have the 60-40 split. You have plenty of room here, leg room and room for your feet underneath the seats, which is also very nice. Door panels have some pockets, a cup holder. It looks like a little space there for snacks. Now what's left? Oh, let's check out the trunk. Come on.
Yeah, and so what we were talking about is the fact that Honda has brought technology from the Accord, from some of the more expensive premium vehicles down to the C segment.
Even the Pilot.
Yep.
This has equipment that the Pilot has, which is awesome. And it has something new that none of the cars have. None of the Hondas have had yet. It's the active cruise control that brings you all the way to a stop.
Yeah, with full
stop.
Yeah.
Full stop.
So if you're in traffic and you've got cruise control set and the guy in front of you stops, the car will actually stop. It's cool.
Stop and go traffic, it'll just continue on with you, which is just awesome.
And the Touring level of this also has heated rear seats.
Can you imagine?
Pretty cool.
In a Civic.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's when Hyundai has brought all this stuff into this segment, and now Honda has to compete. And let's face it, this is the segment leading vehicle. They sold 331,000 cars.
Number 1 in retail sales for the year.
Yeah, followed by the Corolla. So there's a lot at stake. And you know, the Japanese, when they develop cars, it's always more of an evolutionary process than a revolutionary process. But this is about as close to revolutionary as the Japanese get, right? Because it's completely new from the ground up.
Yeah.
New engine, new powertrains, new powertrain,
suspension, new safety features.
Yeah, it's all
the way up.
Yeah, it's all the way up. And so this is because you know the kind of the Japanese ways of developing cars is to incrementally keep improving until you get to some form of perfection. Now, one of the things you said in your product presentation is that the problem with high-strength steel is that they're brittle. So in a crash situation, they break and you want it to deform. But you've solved that.
Yeah, so there's two different crash conditions. So I want to highlight 2 things because the way you mentioned it. So this is an ultra high strength steel part here, hot stamp part. And in this case, for a side crash, there's not a lot of space between this component and the occupant. So we don't want any intrusion there. So in cases like this, we like the high strength steels because they're not actually deforming. They're holding the safety cage rigid. But the danger of that is you could get a crack. So you can see here, we've put in a in-die soft zone here to allow some flexibility of the frame, and we control exactly how much it goes in but prevent it from cracking. And then the other areas where we couldn't put high strength steels, for example here during a rear crash, we actually want that crossmember to crumple up and absorb energy. In this case, a high strength steel is typically not a good application because when it deforms a lot, it does tend to crack. So what we've done is we've put localized soft zones. This is all one piece, even though the colors are different because the material properties are actually different. And in these areas, we've increased the ductility, and then we control how this frame bends and then prevent the cracking.
So basically you've got different grades of steel in there to allow the steel to deform instead of crack.
That's right. Even though it starts out as one grade of steel, during the process we actually change material properties.
I'm going to give it the beans, as you say. Pretty responsive.
And that's the sport mode.
And yeah, and it shifts. I mean, you can feel the shifting.
Yeah, it emulates a traditional automatic transmission.
It does.
But,
and the turbo gauge is ever so increasing, which is cool too.
Yeah.
See a little gauge in there?
Yeah, I still hear the whine though. So yeah, I hear a whine.
I hear the exhaust.
Yeah.
I hear the beautiful note of a Honda exhaust.
Yes, all right. So, you know, my exhaust is half empty and yours is half full.
It is, yes it is. Well said.
No, it's not bad. You know, I always give the manufacturer the benefit of the doubt on these first drive reviews because we don't get to spend a lot of time behind the wheel. So I agree. I look for what's good.
Wait until you drive this.
Yep.
We hit little bumps in the road, and it's just it handles them, but the rebound is like immediate. It's really, really a different ride and feel than my 9th generation. Completely different ride and feel.
You know, I think they knew that they were bringing a Type R to America, and they had to build the bones for a performance
Makes sense.
car, right? And so you can't just build an economy car. Not if you're going to have a Type R. And let's face it, the Type R is probably going to have north of 300 horsepower. That's a lot of power for a front-wheel drive platform.
Yes.
And so I think they had to have the bones of a really good car so that they could make it that sporty and have that much power in it.
I don't know if you guys can really see how big that trunk is just by visually looking at it. So let me climb in. Okay, I would almost say that this room where I'm not sitting was as big as the old Civic trunk. And this is how much more room they have in the new one. Pretty incredible. So many spaces inside.
You know, I do wish they had a full sunroof. I kind of missed that. I think they kind of missed the boat on that one. Those are really becoming the full panoramic.
Okay.
They're becoming standard now, but that would increase cost. They haven't used a lot of aluminum, which is also becoming more standard, but they have used high strength and ultra high strength steel in important places to give you that kind of cabin that's very safe and secure. They're expecting a 5-star safety rating, as well as a strong recommendation from the Institute for Highway Safety. I like the camera you're using here. I think that's a really cool feature that Honda does, yeah. A little camera on the side, so when you use the turn signal, you see what's next to you, or you can turn it on.
We'll call that Honda's lane watch.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, Jason's a bit of a fanboy, but I do agree with him on the new interior of the Civic. I especially like the fact that they got rid of that dual-tiered dashboard. It was hard to figure out where to look. Now it's very straightforward. I like the digital dash. It lets them customize it so that you can see MPG, you can see tachometer, you can see speedometer, really nice stuff. But let's see if he's right about the back seat. I'm a lot taller, I'm 6'2", so we'll see how I fit. Come on with the camera over. You know what? I do fit. There's a lot of room back here. Let's check out the trunk. Now this is an enormous amount of space back here. I'm certain that Nathan could easily fit plus Jason, but there is some cost cutting. For instance, these gooseneck hinges. Not a lot of steel there. This also feels a little bit thinner than the outgoing model. So, you know, it's like everything. They're trying to make money in some places, the places that maybe are a little bit more hidden. They've cut costs just a little bit. Yeah, as a motorcyclist and a bicyclist, I love that.
That's what you were saying the other day. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So,
as a drag racer, it's nice too. You can see the guy that you're passing.
I'm not you're going to be passing a lot of guys in a 1.5 liter.
Hey, it's a turbo. Let's talk about aftermarket. You never know.
This is true. So, are you excited by this?
I am. I'm just trying to take it all in and absorb it, and it's pretty awesome. I just turned over to see what was in my corner, and there's a little back window that I've never seen before. So there's your front window, the rear window, and then another corner pocket window all the way. You probably sit on my end easier.
Yeah, behind the seat pillar.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
Yeah, we've got heated seats over here. We've got. Let's see if this goes back. Oh yeah, this goes back. You know,
This is really comfortable. It fits. I feel like I'm in the car, not on the car.
Yeah, and you know they did the product presentation and they said it's 3 inches longer.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, 2 inches wider. So it's a substantially bigger car.
And lower.
And lower. It's
lower.
like over an inch lower. So you sit lower,
Yep.
you're in a wider car. Of course, you know, Honda does that magic where the interior is much bigger than the exterior. And when you have a big exterior, you get up with a really big interior.
But it doesn't feel big. It feels like a cabin. But I have plenty of room. You have plenty of room.
Yeah, I'm not going to bemoan the fact that the small Honda's missing. If you want the small one, get the Fit, right?
Or the HRV.
Or the HRV, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, so
this has definitely gotten bigger, and a lot of people have talked about, well, the Civic's not a small Civic anymore. No, it's not. The Fit is a small Civic.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want that little compact car, the old compact Civic, it still exists. Yeah.
Nice acceleration.
Yeah. See, I feel that rubber band effect. I'm like, I like the. You know,
I know.
I like
You like the gears. You like to hear the gears.
I like to do it myself. Yeah.
So what we did, and it's difficult to see here, but the pink part down at the bottom, there's one on each side of the subframe.
Yep, one there, and there's one hiding right there.
That's right. And during the crash, load is transferred down through these subframe components. Those release from the body, and they bend down and pull the entire subframe down and away. And this actually increases our stroke during the event and allows us to make a shorter frontal overhang.
Why is this steel green over at the front here?
This one's actually aluminum.
Oh, that's aluminum.
Yep.
Right.
So you can see we have a couple, aluminum and magnesium are our 2 other materials. And so the whole bumper beam.
Aluminum in the bumper.
It's primarily for lightweight.
Okay.
And then it allows us also to, this is kind of an interesting section here. So you saw the narrow offset test we showed today.
Yes.
And during that test, this front cross member, which absorbs energy normally, is missed. And so this construction, what it does is it ties this whole area in, and then we bring this elephant nose down to attach here, and this creates another crash member to help absorb energy during that style of crash.
All right, so let's put this into perspective. What does this mean when it comes to IAHS
IIHS
and the 5-star rating? What do you expect to get?
So there's 2 differences. IHS is the rating good, marginal, poor.
Yep.
So we expect to get good in every crash mode based on our internal testing. And then NHTSA is the one that's a star rating. We also expect to get 5-star front, side, and rollover, and overall 5-star rating.
Let's face it, Jason, people are buying this car who are looking for transportation to and from work. And if you're an enthusiast, then you're going to be a stickler for the CVT. But if you're a normal car buyer,
the average buyer,
right?
But the enthusiasts are going to buy the SIs and the Type Rs.
Exactly, and you're looking at the 35 combined city and highway. That's a big number.
Yeah,
that is a big number. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed. I'm super impressed. You want to drive it?
Yeah, let's pull over. Let me try.
Yeah, let's
give it a shot. Let's talk about airbags. I see one popping out over here. How many airbags does the new Civic get?
So there's 2 frontal airbags,
Yep.
one in the steering wheel, and the one you can see here is the passenger side front airbag.
Hope it's deactivated.
It is deactivated. There's no chance of it going off.
All right.
We have a side airbag in the seat on both sides.
Yes.
There's just a little tag there. You can't see it because it's embedded.
Yep.
And then you can see here we do have the cutaway of the side curtain airbag,
Yep, there
which
it is.
you can see here.
Okay. That goes all the way across the
It goes
whole.
all the way across for front and rear occupants.
So that's a lot of airbags.
It is.
And do you have a knee airbag? You done that?
This vehicle does not have a knee airbag. It's not really required. So we have, you can see here this structure. These are energy absorbing members,
Yes.
and the glove box goes over top of that. So knee airbags are primarily used for unbelted occupants. So if you don't wear your seatbelt, there's not a lot to stop you except for the airbags. And in this case, the passenger airbag would absorb your upper body loads, and then these would deform when your knees hit the glove box.
So do whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna I just turned the music down by turning the heat down. That's the problem with.
Oh yeah, not having knob. Yeah, I can see that.
See, I just went for it. I'm like
I can see that.
Dog with an old bone.
Yeah.
So I like this driving position. I certainly feel like I'm sitting behind the wheel of a sports car, not necessarily a compact car. But it's always tough on these trips because they give us the loaded models, right? If you noticed, all the models they had were the top of the line or close to top of the line, 1.5 liter turbos. I mean, it's very rare to get a base model.
But yes, of course, they give you the nice one. They want to impress you.
Yeah, they want to impress you, exactly. So they baffle us with amenities.
Amenities.
I know, look at that, show that. People,
And they got a lot of stuff in here this time.
yeah, a lot of goodies. So let's see, flooring it. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I saw a little smile on your face.
There
I
was
think,
a little
Roman.
smile on my face. There was a little bit of a smile on my face and a little bit of concern at the same time. I'm giving a little bit of both there. Because there was that rubber band effect, but then I was like, okay, all right. If you're going to baffle me with a CVT, at least it's a good CVT.
Yes.
Well, there's the engine, and where's Jason? Jason, where are you?
Under here.
Dude, what are you doing under there?
I'm checking out this new dual exhaust. Dual exhaust, check this thing out.
Let's see.
In a Civic.
There's one. Let's see the other one.
There it is.
Well, why don't they rot them out the back?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure why.
I bet you they will in the Type R.
I'll bet they will. But the turbo officially has dual exhaust.
There's something about culturally where the Japanese companies seem to have embraced CVTs. Right? Nissan is
Right, that's what
like
you said,
double
but
down.
the German companies are doing the DTCs.
Right, yeah, exactly. So, Nissan has doubled down on CVTs. Now Honda is coming in.
We need a Honda Pro Jason selfie. It wouldn't be a trip without it.
Hell yeah. And Toyota isn't quite there yet, but I'm thinking they may get there.
They might get there.
Yeah, they might get there. Doesn't come out.
I
I don't know
know.
what that thing is. That probably tells you to.
No, it probably dims it.
Yeah, it probably dims it.
Yeah.
Yeah, brightness setting. That's nice.
Kills
They
it.
have a hot
It's
switch.
nice right on top, yeah.
I like that. So are you lusting after this? Do you want one of these? And how long before you get one?
I'm in line for a Type R.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm get a Type R.
that's gonna be what, a year, 2 years?
It's gonna be a year. It's gonna be 17.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be 17. I still got a little bit more time in my car. I just bought it, so 14.
Okay, yeah. So Honda doesn't ship you one for a long-term test?
No.
No? Oh,
So in closing, Honda thinks this is the best Civic they've ever built. I agree. I mean, it's got all the performance, got all the styling, it's got all the creature comfort features, but what do you think?
I think you're a fanboy and you're always gonna. As always, this is Roman and
Honda Pro Jason.
saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for news, views, and of course, Honda Civic previews where we have people walking through the back of our shots all the time. That's just the way it is here, man. Deal with it. See you next time. Ciao. Oh, look at that. Oh, a little bit of front wheel squeal. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, it's pretty stable. I'm giving a little bit
We
of
can't talk about driving impressions.
Oh yeah, we can. This
can't.
is going to get shown after after the embargo day.
It's live right now on Periscope.
Oh, we can't talk about driving.
We cannot talk about driving impressions, but we can definitely play with the car and have fun with it. And that's definitely what me and Roman are doing right now. TFL car?
That's right.
TFL car?
Rock and roll, baby.